Hey, I'm Alex Radcliffe from Board Game Co. and today I'm unboxing and rambling Tsukuyumi Full Moon Down. Now this is over here, first of all, coffee shot, knife, and all that stuff. By the way, this is my backup knife because for the second time I brought my main knife through TSA and they don't love that apparently. So I no longer have my main knife and I hope to get it back again sometime, but for right now we have my backup knife instead. I have 3 knives, that's how I've juggled on camera because I got 3 knives. Let's move this to the side without knocking things over. Give me a second here. Tsukuyumi Full Moon Down. Now this is an interesting one to go through because this is one of those games that I'm unboxing while being hesitant about the game. This has happened before. I've done this multiple times. Sometimes it works out well, sometimes not so much. And I always second guess myself when I do it because, well, first of all, disclaimer, as usual, this is an unboxing and rambling. If you're expecting a whole bunch of information on Tsukuyumi Full Moon Down, this is not the video for you. There's plenty of videos that will do that. If you're expecting a conversation that will have all over the place kind of things going on, but also have a degree of conversation around Tsukuyumi Full Moon Down to a small degree, well, this is that unboxing. Basically, I'm here to just have a conversation and talk and unbox things slowly. But, what was I saying? I was saying that in the past, there have been a few times where I've unboxed a game, and in the process of unboxing it, I already don't know if I'm keeping it. Which I always second guess myself on that. I always second guess myself because the question I have there is, what is my role within the board game space? What am I doing? What am I here to do, to show you, to talk about? Why am I unboxing something that I'm not even confident if I'm keeping? Like, I'm gonna, be on camera and then like pull out a miniature and be like, oh, this looks so cool and looks amazing and the game looks great and it's so blah 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 blah, and then like, 2 months later I'm like, you know what, I haven't gotten this table, I think it's gonna leave my collection. Like, that doesn't feel great. I don't love that. And so, everything ranges and it all depends, but I think specifically with unboxings, especially when you're unboxing like 7 boxes worth of stuff, there's that part of me that is like, okay, great, this is a giant pile that kind of shows you how much I care about it, but what if I don't? What if I don't really care about it? Do I unbox it or do I leave it alone? Do I just put it on a shelf and not talk about it at all? But then I feel like I want to have the conversation. I want to talk to you about why I'm unsure. I want to talk to you about why I have it, how I have it, what's going on, what's going through my mind. And so I have that balance sometimes of both wanting to show you something fun and also show you miniatures, because some of you are here just to see the stuff. Some of you are here because you want to see the miniature, the cards, the tokens. You want to see if this table full of stuff that showed up in the thumbnail, does it look compelling enough? Does something about this video pull you in and you want to find out more about Tsukuyumi Full Moon Down, which I believe will be coming back to crowdfunding at some point. I'm not sure of that, so maybe it's worth knowing for that. Others of you are here to see my enjoyment or excitement, and to that end, I want to be clear that I am excited about this game. I also don't know if it stays, but we'll get into all of that very shortly. First, let's go ahead and open this box. We're going to get into all this stuff as usual. Also, if you're new to the channel, welcome. Thanks for coming on board here. I appreciate it. Reposing your miniatures. You may find that a few of your miniatures have become slightly bent on their way to you. It's nothing to worry about and can be easily bent back. This is actually useful, by the way. It's a good and bad thing. In general, Grey Fox Games has had enough production issues. Grey Fox Games falls into an interesting category in the sense that I personally have had no production issues with Grey Fox Games. I've backed their games, I've gotten their games, I haven't backed everything, and I've had no issues yet. I also know that they've had enough issues that they are above average in the issues department, which means I generally talk about their games with a little disclaimer like, hey, they have issues, do your due diligence. I haven't had them yet, people have, and so take that into account. And I've backed, the thing that's worth noting, people have said the retail editions have fewer issues, the Kickstarter versions tend to have more issues. Also, this box needs to be repaired over here. That might be part of the issues, but also, I don't know. I think this shipped internationally if I'm not mistaken. This was, whoa, okay, this is a lot of miniatures. Lots of fun things over here, although there are complaints. We'll talk about the fun things shortly. Let's go ahead and take a look shortly and all this stuff. But anyways, so what was I talking about? I was talking about my excitement and lack of excitement at the same time, and my hesitancy. So why do I have this game? Well, let's first show you some of this stuff over here. I'm going to be all over the place. This is what I do. So we got Punchboards over here with the various terrain over here. I know nothing about the terrain functionality of this game. I know nothing at all. I know things about this game, to be very clear. This is a game that has been on my radar, that I am interested in, that I am excited about, with caveats, but I know nothing about the terrain. So all these boards over here that you're going to see right now, I got nothing. Do they matter at all? I hope so, because there's a whole lot of them, so I hope they have some degree of impact on the board state in some way, because, again, just too many of them not to. Like, if these are all just terrain with no impact on things, it's gotta, I mean, look at the edges. It has to have some sort of impact. We'll look through that later. Either way, This is all your punch board as far as the various punch boards are concerned. It's punch board. It does the job. It's got an appropriate level of thickness to them. Nothing crazy, nothing, nothing too thin, nothing too thick. And then these will go somewhere. We'll get them over here. Let's put them off to the side. So, why do I have this game? I have this game because this is TSUKUYUMI Full Moon Down. It's Grey Fox Games and King Raccoon Games. I think that's what they're called. King Raccoon Games and Grey Fox Games. And specifically, they've had a few games. I've covered their EOS Island of Angels game, which I enjoyed. And they have, coming up, they have TDO, Titan Defense Organization, is a game coming up, which I've only played once, and I've only played it online, but I enjoyed my one online play of it. I thought it was a lot of fun. Very, kind of like a cross between Marvel United and King of Tokyo, and I enjoyed the general vibe it gave. Like, imagine it's Marvel United cooperative and Marvel United combining stuff, and then King of Tokyo, dice rolling and kind of monster fighting situation. It works. It works. Overall, again, one play could drastically change. I could play it a second time and be like, eh. But either way, I enjoyed my one play of it, and I'm covering that. So expect to see coverage of that, TDO, Titan Defense Organization. That's over on GameFound, by the way. Also, you can't type in TDO. It won't show up. You have to type in T.D.O, or no, just that. Maybe you can type in Titan Defense. I don't know. But TDO on its own won't work. You have to have the dots in there. That's a GameFound search issue. I'm going to have to figure out what to do with that. But anyway, while they're sending me that, they also sent me TSUKUYUMI Full Moon Down. And I am both excited and nervous about whether this game lasts in my collection, and I'll talk about why. So first of all, rules. We have our rules over here with 3 pages starts on page 3, then we got the quick start rules, that's, 5 definitions. One thing in general that I've seen, like this over here, these letters, we have this fun little backwards text, which in theory could be a good thing. Let me zoom in on the camera a bit. We have this backwards text over here, which is not the hardest thing to read right now, but can get harder if you're looking at stuff across the table. This game does have a bit of a comprehension issue to it, possibly. This is what, starting little board setup is going to look like. That looks pretty cool. I mean, I'm vibing with that already. I don't know what the game plays like, but seems decent. It's got that full moon tile over there. Again, don't know what's going on. That's game page 7, page 8, page 9. We got the Cyber Samurai, the Dark Steed, the Nomads, and the Boar Lords. And then we get to page 10 is rounds of play. From there, we're going to keep scrolling through this until we see end game is on page 20, and then we have scenarios. So that's not that bad. That's only 10 pages of actual rules. Once you factor in setup and components and scenarios, that's really not that bad at all. I'm intrigued by that. Okay, cool. That's not bad. The rulebook's far more intimidating than it has to be. From there, we have the Codex with comics. I have no idea what this is. The Codex covers areas and faction sheets. I guess this is kind of a reference type situation. I don't know enough about this. And it also has comics in it, apparently. Look at the comics. The comics over here. So we got comics in this book as well, in case you want to check that out. But also just don't be too intimidated by the length, because the length is not all, stuff that are relevant. It's all extras. The Dark Seed story, some background information. I don't mind background information as long as it's optional. But anyways, that is what we have as far as these over here. So what's the game like? The game is basically an area control game with asymmetric factions. That's the core appeal over here. That's why we have tons of boxes full of contents, because we have asymmetric game with asymmetric area control with factions. Sorry, area control with asymmetric factions. Oh boy. Okay. Things are going to have to be repositioned over there. We'll have to figure it out. But in the meantime, we got this over here, which this does not look too bad. We got no broken miniatures over here. Nothing yet, at least. And again, I say that with the... I'm nervous. I've heard too many Grey Fox things that I'm definitely nervous about their, what's going to happen here. But we have these guys over here. These are not bad, but they come with a caveat. You see, one of the complaints about the second edition, and this is the second edition of the game, is that these miniatures, as nice as they are, they limit playability, because the original game had the stats of a character on the character. They had a little standee on the stats of the character, and without that in play, you kind of have to either memorize or look at your opponent's faction. And the higher the player count, the more work and trouble that's going to be, and people think that this edition limits playability. I haven't played the first edition, but honestly, just looking from pictures online, I can understand that. Now, I have seen people say that they took a little marker and wrote on each base. I'm not averse to that, but then the real question I have to ask myself is this a game I'm even keeping or not? Because if it's not a game I'm keeping, do I immediately want to tarnish it within, before I first play even? Meaning, my options are kind of binary here. Do I immediately start writing on the bases to make sure that the first play is as good as possible? Or alternatively, because I'm not sure if I want to keep it, do I not write on the bases, but that might have a degree of self-fulfilling prophecy, because now the first play might not be as good as possible because I didn't write on the bases. You see the problem? Got a bit of a chicken and egg dilemma here. A catch-22. either way I'm setting myself up for some form of failure. Either I am hurting the resale value of a game I don't think I'm going to keep, or I'm making it so that's more likely, since I don't think, that I am wondering if I'll keep, or I am making it more likely that I might not keep it because I'm hurting the initial play. That's the conversation on the table. We'll just go back on. This does go back. Did I put it the right way or the wrong way? I think it's the right way. Where does this go? Just got to push down on it? Is it just a pushing thing? It looks like it went on. Perfect. We're good there. We're good there. Which means now we need to open up this next faction over here, and then go ahead and reorganize the base thingy over here, because the base thing is where we might run. I don't see broken miniatures, but we might run into issues. You'll see what I mean shortly. So, we got these over here. These are going to be... These guys look cool. I like this miniature. The miniatures are not bad, by the way. They're not the best I've ever seen, but they are definitely not bad either. I like this guy a lot. Just the sculpt. Forget anything else. Just the focus. There we go. Like, I like the sculpt. The kind of faceless, you know, arms for heads. Are those arms? Those are... They look like the way he's curling them, it kind of looks like he's curling arms. Like, look at this. Look at this guy over here. That looks like arms curled up above his head, but they're like his face and his body. That's a weird kind of dynamic over there. And we got these guys over here. And again, these are all just miniature stuff over here. Miniature stuff is nice. They do not make a game, but they could make a game better. Or sometimes they can make a game worse, too. That's also possible. We have some more miniatures over here. If we go to take a look. Again, all decent stuff. And that's as far as what we got for here. There's a lot of duplicate miniatures, which is why you're not seeing everything. So I'm just kind of showing you the basics. And now we get to go to the fun part where I get to pull this tray out and try to fix everything, because this tray came like this. Let's go ahead and show you this on the top camera. That's this tray over here. So this one requires a bit of a reorganization as we go through this. I'm going to reorganize it now, but hopefully not making things too long or too whatever. Let's go ahead and put this over here, these over here. We can figure this out. We can do this. I believe in myself. Also, I don't know how this goes. I'm already starting to fall apart. That one probably goes there. Yep, that makes sense. That makes sense. We can do this. I got this. Don't worry. Don't worry. I'm doing this. I'm moving my way through this. It's going at a decent pace, too. No, that doesn't go there. That can't go there. That could go here. We can put this one over here, like so. Okay, we're making decent progress so far. This one goes there, maybe. I'm not confident of that one, but maybe like that. No, maybe like that. Yep, it goes like that. I'm just getting it all sorted first, and then I'll go ahead and show you the actual game situation. Now, I don't love that, too, because now there are different kind of sculpt situations going on here. But we'll figure it out. Okay. We got these over here. Oh, we got our first bent miniature. So far, the miniatures until now have not been bent, so now we can use that hot water trick. By the way, that hot water trick is real, in case you didn't know. It's not in general. It's a good trick to refocus and reshape miniatures. Okay, okay. We are almost done here. We got all these small little guys. We got this guy over here, and then we just need to put these guys into their spots, into their place. We are almost done. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we'll keep the last little guy out so you can actually see. Now look at that. That looks much better. Much better. But let's go ahead and show you some of the miniatures. So, let's show you some of the red faction first. Red faction's got these guys over here. Now, red never shows up quite as good on camera. These look much better in person than they do on camera, just for the record. The on camera has like much more of like a harsh glow to them, which is not actually something you really see. But we have that over there. We have some of these guys over here. And then I'll show you the windmills, because we got windmills coming up. There we go. These guys. Focus. There we go. And then we got some basic windmills over here, which we have two base styles, but these are just little, like, they have triangle bases and non-triangle bases, but it's just like a kind of windmill situation. And again, it looks better in real life than on camera right now. But past that, we have the green faction, which has a bunch of things over here. Again, we got leaders, and I don't know anything about the dynamic of the factions. I just know, all I know about TSUKUYUMI Full Down is that there are a decent amount of people who really enjoy it. I believe Sam Healy enjoyed it. I believe, what's his name? Oh my gosh, Chaz Marler, I believe, enjoyed it. A bunch of people. It's got decent ratings. It's got, like, the original first edition has like a 7.9 rating on Board Game Geek. These guys are cute. I like these guys. So 7.9 is nothing to sneeze at all. And then the new edition has like a 7.5. Some of that is because of the reasonable complaints that things hurt playability. Others are complaints about the Kickstarter experience. Again, Grey Fox has had a reputation for some time, and while I personally have not been while I personally have not suffered from any of the issues that the people talk about, I respect the fact that issues are issues, and people talk about issues because they have issues, and so I'm not there to minimize their experience, but I'm also here to say I haven't had those, at least not yet. That's what we have over here. Let's put this back in the box. Hopefully this time it stays. Now, I mean, this should be fine. The last time it got shipped internationally, so things do move around a bit more there. But anyways, that's what we have as far as the core box. Everything, does this go in here? That goes in like this. And then we got these in here. So let's go ahead and put this down here so you can see everything. Yeah, there's way too much lid lift. I see the problem offhand. Look at this. I mean, I don't know how things are meant to be stored, but there's an absolute ton of extra space in the lid. Although, where did these come from? Oh, these are cards that can go on top, I guess. We got cards. We got these over here. Now, these are the reference cards. Let's actually look at the reference cards, because those might be relevant. Do I want to open these over here? These might be these are the overview cards, I think. Do we have the actual player boards? I don't know if they have actual player boards past this. These are overviews of... Do we have factions? Yeah, here we go. Here we go. Okay. So, we have our overview cards, which are just, you know, various terrain and things like that, covering the fact that terrains are different, like I was wondering about. We have the Cyber Samurai over here, the faction effect, the defense matrix, the goal. These are just the various abilities, the various factions. So you see over here, these have stats in them. So the Cyberoid has 20, 20, 20, whatever those stats represent. But the problem is, you have to remember that. Although, here are the faction cards, because again, they did try to address that in some ways. So let's see what they have. Let's see what they have as far as, this is the thing you'd have to have instead of just looking at the standees. I mean, in other words, miniatures are cooler. I'm the first one to tell you miniatures are cooler. Miniatures are not always better. It depends on the game. So, like for instance, common games that have this issue are Gloomhaven and Too Many Bones. Those are both probably getting miniatures things. Like Gloomhaven is obviously getting miniatures, and Too Many Bones, I'd be shocked if they don't get miniatures. So here we go. So basically, the way this works is, because this could be a multiple player game, you have different faction cards for this faction. So if you are the Cyber Samurai player, you have this over here. But if you're not, every player can get their own faction reference card showing you what the unit stats are. Instinctively, it's not the best experience. Instinctively, you have to cross-reference information, and this reminds me of certain games that haven't worked for me because of information overload, like just too much stuff to track. Asymmetric stuff could be amazingly fun, but it could also make it so that every experience is just painful to go through. So I don't really know yet. That's why I'm uncertain on this game, because the asymmetric area control powers and abilities, that is absolutely my jam. The aspect where, you know, you have to try to remember things that are... we have to try to memorize everyone's powers in a way that makes it very hard to actually go through and experience the game in an optimal way. That's not my jam, and I've had it happen with like Heroes of Land, Air, and Sea. I had it happen with even Root to a degree. A game I love now was a game that I initially said no to because I liked Root. Do I have room for these cards? These are store cards. Yeah, these won't store these. No, but I liked Root, but it was a game that, when I first played Root, I was like, I can only play this game if I'm playing with the same group of people again and again and again. Anything else, and it's a waste of time, because I'm just going to have too many issues trying to remember how everything works. And teaching people. Teaching people is another factor. I would say with Root, it was less an issue of remembering and more an issue of teaching. With Heroes of Air, Land, and Sea, it was like, I'm just never going to have an optimal experience playing this. Unless I play with the same group again and again and again. So here we got the action cards over here. Know what these do. They have, you know, full offense. Are they something different on the back? Oh, here we go. Offense, advance, deployment, supply. Yeah, the actual gameplay here, don't know much about past the asymmetric stuff, past the asymmetric area control. Well, these do look fun. You know, good supply. Produce units upgrades in value of 3. Place any 2 Oni. What does that mean? No idea. Could it be fun? Absolutely it could be fun. Will I find out? Well, actually, with a 10-page rulebook, I'm not against playing this sooner rather than later. Hopefully. I have such a backlog of games to play. But either way. Which brings us to, I guess, the conversation around unboxing games where I wasn't sure how it would go. See, this is one of those times where I'm unboxing a game completely unconfident as to whether I'll keep it. And again, I don't love that. I don't love that, and I feel better about it telling you. I feel better saying, hey, just so you know, I have doubts about this game. Why do I have doubts? Because I think that the game looks cool, but I have a high standard for area control, and between the potential issues with the second edition of, you know, having miniatures, we'll just go back on. I'm trying to be mindful. I haven't taped it at the corner yet, so I'm trying to be mindful of not damaging that corner. But anyways, so mindful that area control is a highly contested area for me, and I'm mindful that there are already critiques that exist for this game, and so it's a game that I am both interested in and unsure of. That's where I am with this. And we can throw this out because I know how to do that. But anyways, other game systems I've done in the past where I've unboxed with being less excited for, although different caveats in different situations. So for example, Darkest Dungeon is one from Mythic Games that I unboxed that one, and I didn't back that game. and it was a game that I was interested in. I think the miniatures look amazing, but the gameplay didn't compel me. And sure enough, I played it, and the gameplay doesn't compel me enough. So I played it like once or twice, and I'm ready to move on from it. Not because it's bad, not by a long shot, but because I have too many games that are great, and my initial dives into Darkest Dungeon were only good, and so I just don't need to keep going on it. And so that's one where I unboxed it knowing I was less excited, I played it, and I was less excited, and now I'm getting rid of it. And again, it is what it is. I'm okay with that, but I don't love that. Ooh, look at these miniatures. We got some more miniatures over here. Anything underneath this? I don't think so, just the way this is packed, but I'm still pulling it out because I want to check, but I won't do it with the rest. Anyways, so what do we have over here? We have fun little Sentinels. These are like the Panda Clan. This has got to be the Panda Clan. This is cool. I'm sorry. This right here, I don't know how well you can see that, but that is a cool miniature. A panda riding a wolf. I like it. I like the ownership of, you know, whatever. Here, what? I just switched to the wrong camera there. There we go. Look at that. This we have there. These look fun. I like this. I like these extra thingies. This is Sentinels. These are Sentinels. Panda Sentinels. They're cute. They're adorable. Again, miniatures still are good without being the best. Like, they're definitely good, but I've definitely seen far better. They kind of remind me a bit of Rum and Bones, which is one of CMON's games that didn't have the best miniature quality. Good miniature quality, but not the best. Rum and Bones, by the way, is awesome. That's a game where I both would love to see CMON take another crack at, and also am terrified because I have so much Rum and Bones content that I don't need more at all, not one bit. Anyways, we have the Sentinels over here. Sentinels. Faction effect. Move 2 of your portals 1 area each. Take blockades into account. However, in doing so, you cannot move a portal onto the moon. Reactivate all cloaking markers. I don't know about you. That just sounds cool. That just sounds cool. Defense. You do not have a defense action. That sounds less cool. Goal. Destroy the Oni. You immediately win the game when there are no more Oni on the board. I don't know what's happening with this game. I don't know one thing about this game. Flying. You do not have to use any Oni actions. Kakarunebo has 2 cloaking markers. This looks cool. I don't know anything about the actual gameplay. Again, like the actual, how does the structure work? I don't know. But this overhaul just looks cool. What are these tokens over here? These are cloaking markers, I guess? These are probably cloaking markers. I don't know what the rest are. These are your various portals over here. And every faction will have different situations. We have a faction rule sheet. Ooh, we got rules. Cloaking markers. Portals and movement. Only Sentinel units may use portals. Faction placing cloaking. Cloaking markers used in the white phase cannot be reactivated in the same round, but may be reactivated in the course of refreshing the markers in the following round, as you might imagine. The position of the Sentinel units are replaced by markers before the battle card is played. The attacker knows in advance if and how many Sentinel units can be attacked, and may choose a counterattack. Note, I'm not going to keep reading because at this point it makes less and less sense. I mean, I'm sure that if you know the general structure, it's cloaking. It's not the craziest concept. Just how does it actually manifest in this game? We'll figure it out. But I do like the Sentinels expansion so far. I want to play with this faction first for the record. Although, it might be too much. Anyways, past that, another game that I unboxed thinking I would get rid of was nope, I almost said Sentinels. I don't know why I said Sentinels. This knife is so dull. That is, look at this. It's having a hard time cutting through plastic. That is bad. Blowing doesn't do anything. Anyways, Zombicide, Undead or Alive. That's a game that I unboxed that I liked. I knew I liked it, but I unboxed it and I was like, I'm getting rid of it. Like, I'm not going to keep it. I can't possibly keep this game. I have too many Zombicides, and now they have Zombicide White Death, dear Lord. But I played it, and I'd already played it once, but I dove into it again, and I continue to enjoy it. I like Zombicide Undead or Alive so much that I'm like, screw it, we're going to have more Zombicide. It is what it is. I'm sorry. Also, I have Masters of the Universe coming soon, I just realized, and that is going to be a problem. Fireborn Expansion. These are not a faction, it looks like. These are just, you know, maybe, maybe it's a faction. It's a faction! It's a faction of dragons! I'm sorry, I just assumed this wasn't a faction. I assumed it was like, you know, I just took a look at the back of the box, and here, look, I'll show you. See this over here? These are a bunch of dragons. That made me think that I'm going to show you them again, don't worry. That made me think that it was like kind of like monsters or something like that, but this is a Fireborn expansion over here. We got the full Fireborn little pack over here with, you know, things and cards and tokens and stuff, and execute devastation in any areas with at least 1 Fireborn for free. That's the faction effect. Who doesn't want to execute devastation in every area with a Fireborn for free? I always want to execute devastation. Cleansing fire. You cause damage equal to 5 times the number of enemy units in the area. This damage is also caused when all Fireborn have been destroyed. Whew. It is added to the 25 damage points caused by the death of a Fireborn if one is destroyed. Damage is assigned as usual according to the rules. I don't know what's happening over here. Whoa. The Fireborn all have X for their abilities. How does that work? Fireborn starting this, initiative X. I don't understand this. Look over here. Look at their card over here. They have all X's. These are all just little X's over here. There's no stats over here. They're all just X's. I don't understand this. I don't know what's happening. Where's Fireborn? You gotta read this one. Dun dun dun. Devastation, cleansing fire, the idea, positioning, flaming skin, growth markers. Okay. They have markers that go into their bases, apparently. So they have variable thingies like this, I guess. This is something like this. So, oh, here we go, okay. So I guess, I don't know how this manifests, but we got a Fireborn little token here, and they go into the base over here. So if you can show you over here, they go into the base, and now you can see, kind of, maybe, you can, oh, look, that's just a bad example. I mean, I guess I can kind of see at the, let me see, can you see in the front, maybe? I don't know, if it's on the table, there, now it's falling out. Yeah, no, this is not the best. But other ones, these might work better. Let me show you these in a second. Let's look at this guy. So this guy over here, this guy could be a strength 4 Fireborn. I don't know what that means yet, but a strength 4 Fireborn, and you can see on the base nicely over there. That works. That does work. So it semi-works. I'm okay with the system. I need to know more about how the faction and game actually plays. But while we're here, let's show you some of these Fireborn over here, because they are pretty cool looking. We also have After the Moonfall, by the way, so we have a full other box to show you. We've got lots of things to show you. But we got these guys over here. These are cool. I like them. They're fun little miniatures. I like the Fireborn. I want to play as the Fireborn. I know I just told you about the pandas, but the idea of a bunch of XXXX creatures that devastate every single area and explode when they die, that just seems like my jam. So do the pandas, though. So, I mean, honestly, the game, again, this is the problem. This is the problem. So, I walked into this unboxing being unsure. I'm still unsure, but I'm at least more excited. Let's show you these guys over here. I'm at least more excited about the game, and I want to play it. I just want to play a whole bunch of games because I'm behind on my area control games. In general, I've been playing a lot of games, but games that are 4 players have been happening less frequently. I would say 2, 3, and 4 solo has been happening a lot. 4 players, less common these days. Just the nature of my game group dynamics, and one person getting married, and other people just being busy, and shifts to, you know, pre and post COVID, my game group is very different. Means that I need somebody to move to Cleveland so I can play more 4-player games. If you're a viewer and you want to move to Cleveland so we can play a bunch of 4-player games, that'd be great. Anyways, moving past that, we have the Lords of the Lost Seas expansion. Oh. Okay, I like the Dragonborn more, but I haven't read their abilities. If these guys execute something like devastation in every area, let's take a look. Lords of the Lost Seas expansion. We can move this out of the way. We got a bunch of tokens. We got our faction cards. We got our faction effects over here. Use one of these 2 abilities, Power of Nature or Cleanse. Okay, I need more information about that. Cleansing Paradise. Using the ability Cleanse, remove at least 5 territory markers during 1 round. Could be great, I don't know. Their health seems insane. Whale King, 70, 60, 15, and they have the word massive. What does massive mean? All whales are massive and can therefore be moved a maximum of 1 area per phase. Massive was supposed to be something cool. Now it's just a restriction. Not as cool. Past that, displacement. Move all enemy units involved in the fight to adjacent areas. You decide whether units are moved, take blockades into account. That's where massive is cool. Displacing all the baddies. Past that, let's take a look at these massive guys. I don't love how they're, you know, massive but smaller than the dragons, but I'll live. Okay, I'm not going to show you every single one because there's a lot of duplicates here, or seemingly duplicates. But over here we got these guys. These are just giant whales moving across the board. Again, the high asymmetry to the factions. In fact, now that I think about it, if you played Eos Island of Angels had a ton of asymmetry in a way that was very satisfying, and this does make sense. It does make sense and falls into their umbrella. They just like high asymmetry with just tons of just messing around with people. But I like that. If you can balance it well, I enjoy asymmetry. And I don't even mind it. This is my thing in general. I was actually having a conversation recently with Gray, who is the 2 times WSBG winner, who I like calling him that all the time. It's I enjoy that. But he won Splendor and Dune Imperium. And if you're like, those are 2 very different games, you're right. They are. But I had a conversation with him recently about the nature of what I like in games and the types of asymmetry I like in different ways. And I was actually saying how I would prefer a game, and this is not necessarily a good opinion. I don't actually know how to quantify a good opinion. It's not necessarily a comp. This is my opinion. Take it for what it's worth. If I have to choose, I want a game that gives me tons of powers and abilities and is well balanced. That's my ideal goal. What if you have to choose between those? What if you have to choose a game that either has a ton of powers and abilities, but it's not as well balanced as you'd like, or a game with less powers and abilities that is well balanced? What would you choose? And my answer is always tons of powers and abilities, less well balanced. And the reason for that answer is because I like things in games that are fun, and powers and abilities are fun. If a game is incredibly well balanced, but it doesn't have exciting moments, I'm less likely to get to my 5th play anyways. And so I don't care if a game is well balanced if I'm not playing it 5 times. The reverse is, if a game has tons of powers and abilities, but is not well balanced, I'll at least want to play it 5 times, and eventually I may get to a point where I'm like, oh, that strategy is more dominant. Like Blood Rage, for example. Lots of people complain that the Loki strategy is dominant. And I don't even disagree with that. It could be balanced out by the players if they know what's going on, but it is a dominant strategy. But I love Blood Rage, and I'll play it 7,000 times because I don't care, and hopefully over time the strategy can be balanced, or house rules, or second editions, or things happen there. Versus a game that rests on the pin of a needle and has no crazy moments in it, I'll play it 3 times and move on from it. So I would always rather powers and abilities, even at the cost of balance. Now, that doesn't mean this game isn't balanced. It just means that there's lots of powers and abilities, and I'm wondering, of course, about the balance therefore. We have the Codex over here, so more Codex, up to 6 players. I don't think it's going to happen. I just told you I can't even get to 4. Although I wonder how this plays with 3. Check that out. There's some more stories, some more comics, all that stuff there. Some more boards over here, which I'm not going to bother looking through, and some more various things over here. Children of the Lion, Masters and Servants. Faction effect. I know I didn't read the faction effects of the base game. I don't know why. Use one of the abilities with Elephant and Buffalo. You can use the same one or different abilities. These look like a bunch of nomads. They have a bunch of beasts. They have a bunch of people with beasts. This is cool. Look at this. Look at this. People with beasts. Granted, this is just the top level. I'd have to like open it up to go through the rest over here. But, okay, now I'm confused. Now I'm confused. Now I'm nervous. Hold up. Okay, and you'll see why I'm nervous in a second. We're just going to have a conversation first before I get too nervous. Over here, in this particular faction, we have the Children of the Lion over here. These are going to be these guys. We have the Kampfflugruppe, and that's all we have. Okay, so those are the only 2 factions we have, 2 different colors. So explain to me why we have an entirely new box of the same faction we had in the last one. Are these replacements? Are these more? I don't understand what's happening here. I'm not going to throw them out yet, obviously, but I'm a little confused. Now, the good news is it does look like we have the suitable factions over here. So we have the 2 factions we need. Like, we have a bunch of mechs. Oh, these are so cool. Oh, they're cool. I'm sorry. Let's look at the Kampfflugruppe. Faction effect. This is cool. Ready? You do not have a faction effect. Defense. You do not have a defense. This is less cool. Goal. Save the Earth. Destroy at least 6 Oni in 1 round. Possible over several phases. But then we have a bunch of characters who upgrade, or I mean, Beowulf, Urzingyle, Fez, like these look cool. I don't know much about these faction. I don't, but like it looks cool. Here's what we got. Okay, ready? I'm gonna pull this off over here, and I'm gonna show you the mechs. I'm gonna show you the mechs first because the mechs look freaking cool. Let's show you the not cool mechs first. Also, let's move this out of the way so it doesn't stop the zooming in. Here are the not cool mechs first. They're less cool. They're fine. They're just less cool. Then from over here, we have the cool mechs. Let's show you the middle cool mech. Middle cool mech first, and then we'll continue from there. Middle cool, he's decent. Then we get to more cool mech over here. Oh, focus, there we go. More cool mech. Look at that spear. Look at that javelin type situation. And then, in case you need some shields to face off against that javelin, we got this guy over here. Look at that. Look at that guy. He looks like he wants to stomp on you. I'm not sure which is front. What's his front and what's his back? I guess that's his front. He was facing the wrong way. But, maybe he's facing the right way, but only faces one way? Yeah, faces the other way. Then we have the Beastmen faction, which have a bunch of nomads, like a whole bunch of nomad-type characters. That's like, there's a lot of these red characters here. A lot. I'm only going to show you select individual sculpts. But, oh no, it's red again. It's red! I hate that. The detail just does not look as good. Which is a shame, because what I really want to show you were all the beasts. Because we got some beasts over here. We got the little buffalo and the rhino over here. Let's see if we can show you some. It's just terrible. It's terrible. The way the light reflects off that. It's absolutely terrible. Again, in real life, looks great. In highlighted in person, not quite so much. Highlighted in camera, not in person. We got the lion over here. The lion, which again, just reflecting light like no tomorrow. And then this giant guy, who looks cool as well. Or would look cool if you could actually see him past the giant ribbon of light. It looks cool in person. Like, it doesn't look. How does it look over here? You can look at a little better over here. You can see a little bit more detail, a little less light reflection. But trust me, it looks great in real life. Maybe I'll throw pictures on my Instagram at some point. I don't know. I need to play this game. I do want to play this game. This, I would say that this unboxing has accomplished a goal, not necessarily the main goal, but it's definitely accomplished a goal in the sense that, first of all, I now have extra miniatures, which is always delightful. I don't know why I have them. I don't know what's going on here. But also because I am definitely more excited to play this game now. I was excited before, but hesitant before. And I'm still hesitant, but I am more excited. And then we're not done yet. We're not done yet, I say. There we go. That works. We got this one other box full of stuff. What's in this box? No idea. Let's find out together. Okay, how many purple guys do we need? Okay, these are new purples. Technically, we got new mechs over here. I don't know what's going on here. I don't, but we got new mechs. This is a bigger shield dude. What is going on here? These, like, are these just replacement mechs? I don't understand what's going on. This might be a replacement box, given the fact that's all white. But, like, look at this. I just showed you this guy a minute ago. Look at how much his shields have grown in the past 2 minutes. And this guy had a spear before, and now he's got a sword. Like, he's changing up his gear. And then we got 2 smaller mechs and some more purple stuff. And then these little things over here, which are... I don't recognize these. I don't remember these at all. There's, like, tentacles and bugs. I don't remember a faction that had these. I don't know what's happening here. I don't. We got tokens in here, maybe? Nope, more miniatures. Ooh, got terrain elements, I guess, maybe? I don't know. More stuff in this box. We're not going to heavily focus on it. That's what we have over here. That's what we have. We have an unboxing for a game that I am more excited about now, still hesitant on, unsure whether it will or won't last in my collection. Again, area control is just a hotly contested area for me. I've done unboxings of this in the past that I wasn't sure if they're staying. Undead or Alive, still here, and it's going to be here for quite some time. Darkest Dungeon, definitely leaving. Anything else? What else have I unboxed that I wasn't sure if it would stay? And there are, like Altar Quest is one that I happen to have not gotten to. I unboxed Altar Quest a while ago. I wanted to play it. I set it up a few times and just couldn't get it tabled properly. Rules were a factor. I know there's new rule sheets online. You can check that out. I never got back to it. Past that, anything else I unboxed that I didn't think I'd keep? Horizon Zero Dawn is an interesting one. I like that game. I like it a lot. I just don't know if I like it to justify keeping 12 boxes, and there's other games, systems out there that I think are better. But I do like Horizon Zero Dawn. The Hunter's AD. The Hunter's AD is one. That's another one that I'm not sure on. That's just it's not a lack of interest, it's just a lack of campaign games. Sorry, it's not a lack of interest, it's a lack of campaign games. So that's another one where I'm just not sure. Will I or will I not play it? And also they have a medieval Hunter's AD coming to GameFound. And I prefer medieval over post-apocalyptic any day of the week. And so there's a big part of me that just wants to get rid of the Hunter's AD just so I can get the medieval one. But really what I should do, here's what I should do. I should play the Hunter's AD just so I can find out whether I should get the medieval one. It's a reasonable opinion. Or I should just not get the medieval one. Because Lord knows I have so many campaign games. Anyways, this has been a long enough unboxing. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate all of you. I'm Alex Radcliffe from Board Game Co. I'm going to go finish my coffee. And until next time, I hope you have a good one.